A few years ago, I published an article in Physics Essays, Temporal and Atemporal Experience in Physics. Most of people, they have this experience that time is running, that they are living in time. But there are some people on this planet which somehow jump out of this time. For example, Albert Einstein, he used to say, time is an illusion, persistent one. Erwin Schrödinger, he says something like, the only time that exists is now. I was lucky one because once in the mountains, I went in the mountains in the autumn, and it was a full moon, beautiful, and something happened to me. I got a kind of insight. Time stopped. I was 26 that time. I was 26. And since then, the time is not running anymore in my head. So the neuroscientists, they discover that time is running in our brain, that linear time has neurological origin in the neuronal activity of the brain. So when we perceive a motion through our senses, and when the mind is elaborating this motion, the motion is elaborated in the frame of the linear time. So normally people experience everything through time. But it can happen spontaneously or in meditation that you develop a parallel experience which is timeless. So you experience what your senses are perceiving. You as the observer, which is consciousness, you experience what enters your senses. The mind is not elaborating anymore in the frame of the linear time. It is a paradigm shift because you are out of the linear time. You are here. You are now. And you know that this here and now is eternity itself. This does not mean that you have entered supreme consciousness, that you are so-called enlightened human being. Far from this. But the first step is done. You are out of psychological time. And I believe this is very important if we want to develop science accordingly, especially physics. Because this idea of Einstein of space-time, somehow, he have seen that there is no time, so somehow he pushed time into the space. He hid it somewhere in the space, but in physics, time now has become a fourth dimension of space, which is an utter mistake. So when we enter this timeless experience as a physicist, then we see everything totally differently as the mainstream physics. For us, physicists, which we are out of the linear time. For us, universe existence exists in time-invariant space, in time-invariant superfluid quantum space that we experience as now. So we are done with the past, we are done with the future. And the only universe that exists is now. And this is a quite powerful experience. So I'm planning for the next year a two weeks course on evidence-based cosmology and on the experiential consciousness research. I wrote a few articles, theoretical articles on what consciousness is. But basically consciousness is not an object, so it cannot be studied as an electron, for example. Consciousness is subjective. And in this course that I will have next year, next summer, we plan, I will teach, we will have a course on how to experience consciousness directly. Not thinking about. Consciousness is not something that we can think about a lot, but it is something that we can experience. And once we have this deep insight into what consciousness is, then this is the turning point of our life. Especially, this can be very beautiful if you are really a real physicist, if you are a real scientist, because then somehow you see things very, very clear. So see you next year in the summer.